Hello students. Students, today we will going to start with the next part of chapter We Are Not Afraid to Die. I have completed the paragraph when narrator and his wife, they were all together, they were sitting all together, they were holding hand, and as the when the ship is going on, at that very moment more and more water is coming from the broken planks. We both felt the end was near, and at this time they believe now their end was very near, because now narrator as well as his wife both were seeing the death in front of them. But Wave Walker rode out the storm, and by the morning of January 6th, the wind easing. I tried to get a reading on the sextant. So here now the narrator, he is saying that the wave walker was moving on, and by morning 6th January the wind became calm. Wind was like in it's easing, it became calm. I tried to get a reading on the sextant. So finally he just went to the room and he just searched for the sextant. Sextant is like, it's an instrument with graduated arc of 60 degree, and it is basically for taking altitudes and navigations. Back in the chart room, I worked on with wind speeds. So finally he just went to his chart room and he just started working on the speed of the wind, and with the help of sextant, with the help of many instruments, with the help of chart. So he was in the chart room. Wind speed, change of course, drift and current in the effort to calculate our position. The best I could determine was that we were somewhere in 1,50,000 kilometer of ocean, looking for a 65-kilometer wide island. So here, by the help of the charts and by the help of the sextant, he just tried to calculate the position, and he came to the conclusion that he was somewhere in he have completed like 1,50,000 kilometers of ocean, and he was looking for 65-kilometer wide island. So by the help of charts, he calculated that within 65 kilometers there is a small island. While I was thinking, Sue moving painfully joined me. So when he was thinking these all things, all of a sudden Sue, with that painful head, with the bump on his head, she just came inside. The left side of her head was now very swollen, and her blackened eyes narrowed to slits. So the narrator saw that his head was totally swell, because she was having that big bump on his head, and by that bump, like her eyes were also blackened, and she was also having a slit. She gave me a card she made, and finally she gave. At that time she was very emotional, she was getting very emotional, and she was thinking that I don't know what will going to happen in future. So with the love, she just gave the card to his father. On the front she had drawn caricatures, and on the front of it, she have drawn the caricatures is a picture of person. So she drawing the like family picture, right? So caricatures, you can say it's a cartoon or it's a picture. Caricatures of Mary and me with the words, and she have drawn, the caricatures, and in that like picture she have drawn Mary and me with the words. Here are some funny words that they make you laugh, and it's written some funny words and which actually make you laugh. I laugh a lot as well. Inside was the message, oh how I love you both. So this card is to say thank you, let's hope for the best. Somehow we had to make it. So it was the message from the children, from, you can say, from Sue also, as well as Jonathan also. And Sue have, make a card, and inside it's a very lovely message that she loves like their parents a lot. And this card is basically to saying thank you, that let's hope for the best. So she was hoping for the best, that coming future will be great, will be good. Somehow we had to make it. Anyhow, she just made it. I checked and rechecked my calculation, and by this, these pictures, the words of Jonathan, which really motivated the narrator so much that he tried that he will going to fight at the end of his life. So he just started checking his calculation. He checked, rechecked his calculation. We had lost our main compass, and I was using a spare which had not been corrected for magnetic variation. So here the narrator, he is saying that I lost the main compass, so I was just having this spare compass, because everything was like synced, right? Everything, because like water just came inside the ship, everything was floating here and there, so don't know where the compass is. So he was having that spare compass, and it's not corrected for magnetic, means it's not correcting this correct direction, it's not showing the correct direction. So it's not for corrected for magnetic variation. I made an allowance for this and another estimate of influence of westerly current which flow through this part of Indian Ocean. And anyhow, he just made an estimate, and just because of these currents, these westerly currents which is flowing in the ocean, by which he got to know that through this part of Indian Ocean about 2 p.m. So he was, he was calculating by the westerly currents. About 2 p.m., I went on deck and asked Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees. So 2 p.m., he just went on the main deck, main room of the ship, and he asked Larry to steer, to round, to take a turn, steer a course of 185 degree. I mean, he was having that wheel on his hand, so he said that you have to make a course of 185 degrees. If we were lucky, I told him with a conviction and with that hope. He said that if we are lucky, I did not feel he could expect to see the island at 5 p.m. So he was, means he was not pretty much sure about that he will going to reach to the island or not, but still he was saying this statement that if we are lucky, then definitely by 5 p.m. we would see the island and we all will be in a island. Then, with a heavy heart, I went below, climbed up on my bunk. Bunk is the bed. So, with the heavy heart and with the hope, he just went to the room and he just climbed on that upper bunk and amazingly dozed off. Dozed off means he just went off to sleep. When I woke up, it was 6 p.m. and finally, when he opened his eyes, it was 6 p.m. and growing dark, and it was getting dark. I knew we must have missed the island, and at that time, he was thinking that maybe I guess like I have missed the island or what. And with the sail we had left, we couldn't hope to beat back into the westerly winds. And he was thinking that I guess I have missed the island, and with the sail we had left, because he have left that you know that sea, right? We could not hope to again go back to that area where the westerly wind is very high. At that moment, a toll's head. At that moment, toll's head means disarranged hair of the narrator's son. So at that time, who came? Jonathan came. Means उसके पूरे बाल बिखरे हुए थे. So at that time, he just came. Toll's head appeared by my bunk. Can I have a hug? Jonathan asked. And he said that, can I hug you, Dad? Jonathan asked. Sue was right behind him, and Sue was also standing behind him. Why am getting a hug now? I asked. So he said what I did, and what's the reason? I mean, why I am getting hugged right now? I asked, because you are the best daddy in the whole world. So he said, just because you are the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain, as well as the best captain. So they just appreciated the narrator. They were very happy because by this line we get to know that they have reached the island, right? So here, Janardhan, he is saying, because you are the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain. My son replied, not today, Janardhan, I'm afraid. So at that time he said, no, no, right now I'm not in that mood, because I'm very much, I'm very much in terror. I'm afraid, because at that time he didn't knew, means narrator didn't knew that he was actually in the island only. Why, you must be, said Sue in matter of fact voice. You found the island. So finally, Suzanne, she is saying, what's the matter? Dad, you should be have actually found the island. And all of a sudden, with a very, surprisingly manner, he's saying, what? I shouted. So your narrator is saying, what? It's out there in front of us. They chorused, and like a sing song manner, they just started chorus that it's just in front of us. Come outside and see. A big ass battleship, and it's a big ass battleship. I rushed on deck and gazed. So finally, he just went on to the deck, main room of the ship, and he was seeing, gazed with relief at the stark is sharply defined, which is sharply defined outline of the Isle Amsterdam. So he have finally reached the island. Which island? Isle Amsterdam. It was only a bleak piece of volcanic. So here it's the description of Isle Amsterdam. Bleak mean an area of land which is, you can say, which is lacking vegetation, right? It's a land which is not having so much vegetation. So it's a bleak piece of only volcanic rock with little vegetation, the most beautiful island in the world. So here he is saying that this land, because whether it is having vegetation, whether it is not having vegetation, but now this island actually saved the life of his family. So that is why he is saying that it was only a bleak piece of volcanic rock with little vegetation, the most beautiful island in the world, means this is the most beautiful island I am seeing in the world.